Hey, it's FYF Sports, man. It's Lamont back with another podcast video. Today, talking about another controversial topic. Again, we made a community post about this, and we got so much feedback from it, we just decided to just go ahead and do a debate video on it, just to kind of hash out and just get it settled once and for all. Before we get into all of that, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the video. That's the most important thing. Follow us on all social media platforms. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Before we get started with our videos, as we always do, we send it over to Steph for the sponsors, and then we kind of break it down after that.
Well, what's going on, everybody? Well, I'm pretty sure we'll be getting sponsored sometime soon. Just so how rapidly we are growing. Thanks to you guys. Thanks for the love and support. But of course, like as of right now, we don't have any sponsorship, but they are definitely coming. I can feel it this time.
All right, sponsors will be on the way. And again, I always tell the sponsors, man, this is our word of advice to the sponsors is sign up now while it's affordable, because once we go over 1 million subscribers, it's going to be $50,000 a pop. So if you want to get on this wall now for cheap, let us know now. You'll be a lifetime partner. If you wait until if you say you want to wait until we get 1 million subscribers, or you think we have a strong following, then it's just going to cost you too much money. So save yourself some time and money. Jump on board now. Jump onto the program now while it's still affordable. Again, it's just like stocks. You always buy stocks when they're down. All right, when the stock go up, it's too late. Right? So you better buy now before it's too late. So that is FYF advice of the day.
And don't say he haven't told you this, because
I'm telling you now.
He tells you every episode.
We have to let you guys know now, because I want everybody to have a fair opportunity, whether you're a small company and you want to grow with us, or whether your company is already large and you just kind of want to promote your stuff with us now. Either way, our growth has been very steady. Our growth has been steady over the last month. If it continues to go this way, again, our next goal is at 10K. Again, every time we surpass the goal, the price point continues to grow as well. So again, we want you guys to get in on it now while the stock is low, because in a few months we don't know where it's going to be, but it's definitely on the way up.
But like the comparisons to the stock market.
Oh yeah, it's just like the stock,
that.
Just like the stock.
That's a fact.
So the controversial topic of the day is who really deserved the 2006 MVP award in the NBA. Now, what we do know is that the MVP was awarded to Steve Nash in 2006. But a lot of people felt that the award should have went to either Kobe Bryant or LeBron James. And so we're just kind of here today to really, really break this down. And we're going to go ahead and start with Steph. Steph, just what do you have on this particular situation? And, what do you think? What do you think played a major role into Steve Nash winning the award, and who do you think should have won the award?
Overall, I think he's a great talent. You know what I'm saying? I was a big Steve Nash fan, but overall, he won because he was a white guy who we didn't expect to see this from, and then they were favorites to win the championships. Win the championship that year as well, because of the team that he had surrounding him. No one expected this guy to do anything, or to be even in the talks of anything. I mean, he definitely showed a lot of the way he brought that team together. They showed a lot of cohesiveness on and off the court, which is still been talked about to this day by players like Quentin Richardson and Sean Marion. But I really think it's because of their record, and just because they were in the talks of winning the championship that season. I don't see anything else. I mean, I understand he averaged a double-double. I mean, it was only 18. I'm not gonna say only. It was 18 points and 10 rebounds. But I don't think he should have won. Now, I don't think he shouldn't even been in the conversation. In my opinion, I like that LeBron James was in the conversation. But other than that, I'm gonna just tell you who I thought that should have won, and that was Kobe Bryant. Period.
Yeah, I mean, there's an argument for all three of them. So I'm gonna run down the stat lines, just so if you're not already familiar with their stat lines. So we have Steve Nash, average 18.8 points a game, at 10.5 assists a game, 51% field goal percentage from the field, and then 44% three-point field goal percentage. And his team's record was 54-28. So again, I don't think his numbers really show his impact to that team. This was the season where Steve Nash got hurt for approximately, I want to say 9 or 10 games, and his team played absolutely terrible. You know, they may have won maybe 1 or 2 games, but him not being in that lineup really showed, and it showed how bad they were without him. So I think that might have been one of the main influences when voters saw how bad they were without him, as opposed to when he was actually playing.
It was more of like a traditional era too. Like, you know, the point guard was the point guard. You feel what I'm saying? But I don't want to, you know, make that my argument. But go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, it was more of a point guard driven era as well too. I mean, I'm not gonna say it was more traditional era. I would say that because everything was ran through the point guard. No one else bringing the ball up the court type shit, unless you the superstar of the team. But he had a squad. He had a good team. I understand they you know, those 10 games that he was out, they played, you know, they wasn't, you know, winning or anything like that. But nevertheless, I think with what Kobe had on his team and what he was able to do, I mean, it just shows you. I mean, of course, around that time, I don't think he was making his teammates better or anything. He was just out there playing. But
yeah, I think one of the knocks against Kobe that year was the use another true point guard. You know,
LeBron would have been running the point. He's a true pass first.
Yeah, and LeBron, but to the game, it's just kind of unfair to throw him in because you can almost plug him to any team and they're in the championship consideration. So like I said,
that's true. Even with Kobe, I feel like they would have made it further. But in a way, look, Kobe was a different level. I think the team that he had played. I don't know, bro. Like, I don't see it just because he butts head and everything. It has to be his way. I don't know if that team that Nash had would have been good around.
Well, like I said, we can only judge them off of the teams that they had. I mean, we can play semantics and try to plug and field guys where they weren't. But at the end of the day, the one thing that we saw happen was when Nash was out, the Suns were terrible. Obviously, the Lakers wouldn't be able to win a game without Kobe. But Kobe's team during the regular season wasn't as good as what some people would have expected. And then LeBron James, 50 and 32 is not bad. 50 and 32 is a pretty good record out of the East. And then a lot of people will also say that LeBron James didn't have the greatest of talent around him as well either. So I just think Nash was the clear-cut favorite just based on his impact with his team.
So are you saying that he deserved that MVP?
Yeah, I think Nash deserved it.
Fuck no. I still don't think he deserved the MVP.
It's easy to give it to the person with. Again, it's easy to just throw 30 a game. I think Kobe would have had more of an impact if he would have averaged 25 a game and moved himself. 35 a game is impressive. But
right, with almost 5 assists a game. I mean, what you want him averaging? Double-double?
No, what I'm saying is sometimes you can do less if you James as your MVP. Mm-hmm. LeBron James did less, but doing less was more in his case because by him sacrificing his points, he's able to be a better passer. He's leading the league in assists. So he's excelling in other categories, and that's making other guys better. Like, will we even be talking about players like Alex Caruso if it wasn't for LeBron James? Will guys like Quinn Cook or, would these guys even have jobs in NBA if it wasn't for LeBron James? So that's what I'm saying is sometimes finding a way to do less to just so your other guys can do more. Sometimes that can be more beneficial to your MVP candidacy than anything. That's what I think.
Right. I don't know. everything is all different at this point anyway.
Well, like what?
Different. Like I just feel like they changed, like that old 06. Like I understand where you're coming from, like that part of it. But then when someone does more, but I don't know. I'm confusing myself at this damn point, even trying to break this shit down, bro.
Well, like I said, I mean, we could only make arguments.
It's all argument, perspective. It's all perspective. So
yeah, like I said, I mean, you have the narrative where some people say Nash only won it because he was white. I don't really like that narrative because then you're trying to detract from the fact that he was a great player. He's a great guard in the NBA. Even with one MVP, what he did in his career was great.
Okay, so this is where I'm at with it. So let's just go with Kobe real fast. So he averaged 35 points a game. He's leading the league in scoring, right? He doesn't make the playoffs. He shouldn't be in the playoff picture. But that's not the fact. He's averaging 35 points a game, leading the league in scoring. He's in the playoff picture. So that means he plays some type of value to that team.
No.
If he averaged 35 points and was not in the playoff picture whatsoever, or just we know that he's not going to make it, then there's no value to the team.
What I'm saying is, the award was awarded to Steve Nash because he was the best player on the best team in the NBA. Traditionally, that's how it goes in the NBA.
Right.
That's traditional.
I don't like that.
Now there have been players that have there have been a few players that went outside of that and won the MVP, but for the most part, it's usually the best player on one of the best teams. And that unfortunately for Kobe that year, that his Laker team wasn't one of the best teams. So he had a great season. It's just like when Jordan averaged 37 a game. He had a great season, but if it's not having a really, really strong impact, on winning, then I don't know if you could be in the MVP conversation. Now, if Kobe's Laker team, if they would have 50 to 55 wins, he's definitely MVP. But
I just don't like the whole synopsis. I don't.
Yeah, I mean,
it is what it is. It's all an argument.
Yeah, it's all debatable.
And debatable. So
I want you guys to let us know what you think about the Kobe, LeBron, and Steve Nash debate for 2006. I mean, like I say, we can all make excuses for why Kobe or LeBron should have won it, but if you were watching NBA basketball at that point in time and you were watching the Phoenix Suns play, if you go back and watch one of those old games from 2006, you will quickly realize that Steve Nash was a great player, especially that year, and you will quickly see his impact on the game. So like I said, I don't like solely judging players off what I call outcome stats. Points per game, and assists and steals, those are outcome stats. They don't truly show what's actually going on the court in some cases. Before we get out of here,
what about? I don't want to keep this going, but I'm thinking about stuff too, about the whole LeBron being robbed by Steph Curry when they were number one seed.
I mean, that's another debate, but at the end of the day, at the end of the day, what it does, it goes to the best player on the best team. Best player on the best team, I feel, gets the MVP. And again,
this is going to be talked about.
Well, Steph is in that Nash category because what Nash did when he won his 2 MVPs was he changed the game. What he was doing on the court was something we'd never seen. So because it was new, we've seen LeBron, we've seen Kobe, but what Nash was doing, we never seen that before. So
what was he doing that we didn't see?
The fast pace of play, the extremely high efficiency, a lot of 3-point shots. It was just fun to watch the Phoenix Suns play. At that point in time, remember, the NBA's ratings were dropping at that point in time. They needed a team like the Suns to come in and save the ratings because the Suns were fun to watch. They were fast, high-paced. They made every game that they played in exciting because they scored a lot of points. That's what the NBA needed at that time. So when we're looking at Steph Curry, the ratings weren't hurting at that point in time, but what did Steph Curry come in and do when he won his MVPs? He changed the game. We had not seen a player even attempt to shoot threes at that clip, or even attempt to shoot them at the range that he does at such an elite level. Like, we've seen players just chuck threes up, but we never seen players chuck them up and actually make them on a night in, night out basis like Steph Curry. So that's why we say that. That's why I say it was his impact on the game overall that won him those MVPs, not just his performances on the court. It was because it was new to us.
I said the right place at the right time promoting what these MVPs.
I mean, like I say, I don't take away from it, because again,
yeah, for sure, I respect it all.
You still got to go out there and make shots, and you still got to go out there and defend it. So he's been defended. He's undersized. He's getting defended by NBA players, and he's finding a way to get it done at the highest level. So big up to Steph. Big up to Steve Nash. It's just like I said, it's all a debate. I want you guys to let us know.
I'm a huge Steve Nash fan, bro.
Yeah, I want you guys to let us know what you think in the comments. Who do you feel really should have won that 2006 award? I think Nash was deserving of it. You got Kobe fans that are always going to ride with Kobe on this one, because they're going to be looking at that 35 points a game. You got LeBron fans who are going to look at that 31 points a game. And, again, how do you feel? Is it all stat driven? Is it outcome driven? Is it driven by wins? Is it driven by team success? Are you considering playoffs? Are you not considering playoffs?
You saying some real shit, bro. It might be little, but it is real. Like, because is it team driven? Is it just person? Like, you know what I'm saying? Just that person. But yeah, these are all things that affect everybody's decision. The only thing I can speak on is what the NBA normally uses. The best player on the best team. That's what it normally is for the NBA. But it shouldn't be that. I feel like it shouldn't be that.
But again, and the problem now that they've been selecting like that, it's hard for them to choose outside of that now, because now they have a consistent format. So I mean, understanding that, at least the NBA staying consistent with it. Although sometimes I don't think it always leads to the true most valuable player in the NBA being awarded, because if we're talking about at that point in time, truly the most valuable player in the NBA was LeBron James at that point in time.
I mean, it's a couple times he should have won.
Yeah, but it's just like Coach Gordon said. Coach Gordon said NBA doesn't like awarding these awards to the same players over and over. You'll have some few instances where a player can win it back to back. But again, every time you look at an instance where a player wins the MVP back to back, look at how that player drastically changed the game of basketball. Steve Nash drastically changed the game of basketball with the high pick and roll. Steph Curry changed the game of basketball with the 3-point shots. And that's consistent with guys who won back-to-back MVP awards. But again, make sure you hit us up on social media. Make sure you hit us up in the comments. Let us know who you think should have won that award. Maybe we may have to do a second video on it based on your comments. I don't know.
I'm sure we are, because you got like a lot of comments just from posting the picture.
Yeah, that's
the
true.
Stats on the community. So
yep.
Yeah, I could.
Hey, most definitely. Steph, you got anything for us on the way out?
Say about this one.
Yeah, you got anything for us on the way out?
Thanks for the love and support. Yeah, just thanks for the love and support. And we're gonna keep grinding. And I know we've been talking to you guys ears off for a while, so we're gonna kick it back to Lamont.
Hey, another good episode. Definitely just had to get this out of the way, because it's something that you guys have been asking about for a while. And then, once I made the post, I even really had to rethink it and had to go back and look at some games and look at some footage. So again, sometimes these posts and your comments are a reminder to me to actually go back and do some additional research. So been another great episode. Make sure you don't forget to follow us on our Facebook page, NBA GOAT Talk. That's our Facebook group. We're trying to get to 500 members before we start our live debates. So make sure you go follow us there as well. But we appreciate all the support thus far. We're looking, our next goal is trying to hit 10K. If we can hit 10K, we'll definitely be doing a 10K subscriber giveaway for that. But until then, it's FYF Sports, and we are out.